big A and little I, that still codes for an A antigen. But what kind of dominance relationship is that whenever you have big A, you have the big A allele and the little A, I mean the little I allele?
Complete dominance.
What kind of dominance
There it
relationship?
is. Yeah, there it was.
There's incomplete, complete, or codominant.
Complete. Complete.
What dominance relationship
Complete.
is this coding for? Whether it's big A and little I.
Complete. Complete.
Complete. Okay. So then if you have big B, coding for the B antigen. But if you have big B little I, that you still end up with the B antigen. What kind of dominance relationship is this?
Code.
From the last week, you just said complete. So if you have big A and little I,
Look,
that codes for the A antigen. That's complete dominance. For here, you have big B, little I. That codes for the B antigen, which is still complete dominance.
I think we need to use these letters. No, that's code
But here you
dominance.
have the big A and the big B, and you get that codes for the A antigen and the B antigen. So both are being expressed. What kind of dominance relationship is
Codominance.
Codominance. Okay, good.
That's my
job.
baby. She's so cute.
But
Her
here,
orange
whenever you
stripes
have
and
little I, like we said, the little I does not code for any antigen on the surface of the red blood cell. So there's no
Thanks like much your cat.
antigen.
Oh,
her patches.
Brat, she doesn't even
And
meow
so
anymore. She
phenotypes and
whines.
genotypes to know that, like we had here, in order to
Never heard
have
a
the
cat
A
whine.
antigen, you need big A for the genotype, or big A little I. For B, you need big B, or big B little I. And then for AB, you can only have big A and big B, which was codominant, for that dominant relationship there. And then for the O antigen, it doesn't have an antigen, and that's only little I little I. So make sure you keep those straight if you have to do a cross.
Right. Keep in mind, as Savannah mentioned, if you need to do a cross, realize that a person with blood type A could be heterozygous. They could have the A allele, and that little I that does not code for anything. They still be blood type A. Note here that the dominance relationship, complete dominance, typically one allele makes the product. In this case, big A, the A allele makes the product. The other allele, the recessive one, does not make a product. This follows the same model we've seen before, where the recessive allele is non-functional, does not make a functional product. Once again, if you see somebody with AB blood type, you know their genotype. There's no other way to be AB except what we have here. Same thing with O. If the person with blood type O had an A allele, they wouldn't have O blood type, would they? Pretty simple. Alright, so you know about these blood types because they're medically important. So there's two blood types that you need to match up with a blood transfusion. They're the ABO type that we're talking about here, and the RH group that we'll talk about here a little bit later. But this ABO group here is really important in matching up blood types for transfusions. A transfusion is a tissue transplant. Blood is a tissue. The matrix is liquid, but it's still a tissue. So you have to match up, just like every other tissue transplant you do, you have to match up the antigens when you do a blood transfusion. If you've ever seen a blood transfusion, you know how this works. There's two people involved, and they go down a checklist. You can't screw it up, because if you do make a mistake, you can kill the person. That's why there's two people involved, and that's why they go down a checklist to make absolute sure that they're matching up correctly. They have to match up these antigens correctly because the results could be devastating and kill the person if they don't. If you get blood of a type that's not yours, your immune system will recognize it as being foreign, mount an immune response. It's blood, it's everywhere. So you got this immune response going on all over the place. You have deep problems. So you have to make sure you do this right. A person of blood type AB is the universal recipient. As we just mentioned here, Savannah said that this person has the A antigen. They also have the B antigen. So their immune system recognizes the A antigen as being theirs, and it recognizes the B antigen as being theirs. It does not attack either one.
That's right.
Because of that, a person of blood type AB can receive blood type A, can receive blood type B, can receive AB, and of course can receive O because there's nothing to attack on the surface of the O red blood cells. So a person of blood type AB is a universal recipient. Now, I don't watch almost any TV at all. If it's not on ESPN, I have zero chance of seeing it. Okay? But I understand there's these medical shows, and every once in a while I hear about these things. And what happens sometimes in these medical shows is somebody shows up in the emergency room and they need blood, and they're blood type AB. And the storyline usually goes, "Oh my God, they're out of they're blood type AB. We're out of blood type AB. What are we going to do? Ah!" I want to know what medical school they went to, because this is not a problem. A person of blood type AB is a universal recipient. All you have to do is match up the RH group. If they are AB negative, just give them anything that's also negative. No problem. Not a big deal. AB is the universal recipient. Typically, during summertime or during Christmas time, when people are doing other things and traveling and so forth, blood donations decrease. And you typically hear local blood banks make an appeal for donors. They say, our blood supplies are getting low. We really would like
They send
people to
messages like
donate
that.
blood.
They're like, there's
We
been a
would
big call
especially
for us.
like
We need
people who are type
negative
O
blood.
to
So when
donate
people
blood.
want to die, okay.
And the reason they specify they would really like to have people of blood type O to donate blood is because blood type O is the most useful type in terms of transfusions. Because blood type O is the universal donor. Remember what we have on the surface of the red blood cell, somebody who's blood type O. Are there any antigens for the ABO system? Oh dear. No, thank you. Oh my God. So there are no antigens on the surface of the red blood cell for the ABO system. So there is nothing for the immune system to attack. So as long as you match up the RH group, you're good to go. You can give blood type O to somebody of type A, somebody of type B, somebody of type AB, or, of course, somebody of O. It's a universal donor. As long as you match up the RH group, you can give type O to anybody. And that's why blood banks really would appreciate, especially at these times of year when blood donations
I'm decrease, limited over here.
people of type O to donate blood because it's the most useful type of blood in terms of transfusion.
It's voluntary.
So we have our blood types here. We know about the ABO group because it's medically important. We just talked about the genetics of it. We see the other medically important blood type, that of the RH group. What's the dominance relationship for the RH blood type?
The positive.
What do we got? Just by those symbols.
Here's the question.
RH positive. Big R.
Don't think you are. It's complete dominance. So if a person has a big R allele, they make the RH protein. They are said to be RH plus. If the person is little r, they do not make the RH protein. They are said to be RH negative. So it's these two here, it's ABO and the RH, that are medically important, and that's why you know about them. There are several other blood types in humans that are not medically important, one of which is the MN. What is the dominance relationship for MN? We got codominance. If a person has an M allele and an N allele, they're MN. They make both. How about the S? What's their dominance relationship there? Complete dominance, once again. In the days before DNA technology, before we had these DNA markers to use in population genetic studies, if people were doing population genetic studies with humans, they typically use those first 4 blood types. But now with DNA markers, you get much better data by using DNA markers and blood types. Don't use these anymore in population genetic studies. But in the old days, these were the things to use in population genetic studies in humans. Oh, hey, we got a question. Isn't that cool?
Oh, Savannah. Hey, look, can't even hear me.
Hey, Savannah.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, the batteries are dead on this one. Are there? There's not any more. Oh, look, there might be another one. I need to just go buy a phone now. Just give me my third one.
What happened to your other two? Both of them back on the fucking
So let's see. Father is, let's see. Father has to be I, could either
I mean, you gotta give it some time to search. Nope. I'm sorry. Huh? Oh.
now.
Let's do this question. They got B negative. Boom. And mother was B plus.
Where's
And father was O positive.
for a student with a blood
Are
type
these
B
her
minus?
So it'd all be type B. All the kids would be type B, period. This one maybe not. But this one would be positive, so this one would be it. So, we're still working on it.
So how do you know the difference between negative and positive? Like
The RH.
Could be BB,
You should have wrote that one down. That was the one I was like, I don't need that shit.
dad,
Right here.
yeah.
And she has, yeah, she can have it. So, because the recessive gene is the negative, it's not that hard.
RR, and they're both positive.
So,
But
Oh, so you stole my name?
inherit.
because either way, look, right here. Either way, the mom, you don't know what the mom is right here. So the mom could have a little R, and so could the dad. And that means she could be negative, and since the mom is B, she could also be B.
I'm gonna have to go to session, so I need to understand this. When's the session again?
It was at 10.
I know, not the Savannah one. Yeah.
I have not yet. I don't go to hers. I need to though.
I just need to go to whoever you said.
Will you take this and like record sessions for me?
What's if I go? I need to figure out what time. I gotta go get a poster board.
How long do you gig?
Yeah. I just started. This is boring. I got 1,092 points. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it's good for, but I got points.
Okay, you good here?
It is her birthday.
Yeah, I believe so. Explain to me why you think it's, and then I'll explain my reason back, just to see if we make sense. Haley, I'm gonna just see what she got because he just told him to answer. Hey, Haley, what was it? Cool. Yeah, that's what everybody else put. But still, explain to me.
So,
Savannah, this is the stuff we should have had since the beginning of the year.
Why?
Because I've already taken this, and so it would have been easy. So,
Right? Because this is confusing. I will make it happen.
but Jasmine, you study with me, so sort
Not
of.
really. I go in your room and I sit there and I look at your notes and you just like have fun.
Allial, the mother and the
Okay, okay. This time
We
we'll
can
have.
study together
Yes,
mutually.
yes. Got you. No, that's because last time everybody wanted to match. So.
I want to match with my team now. I think it would be cute to match with my group.
Oh no, 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 not like that. Not like I was like, wait, what?
That's what it's something maybe it reminded me of that. I know that's not what you were talking about though.
I was. Okay. All right.
Talking about clothes, and you were talking about other threes. It's okay though.
All right. People with the incorrect answer. We need to think about this a little bit. RH
Oh.
group is what you need to focus on here, obviously. So I got the RH group up there.
Man,
That must be at least half the class.
So what
We
kind
got
of
it right.
dominance
The
relationship
first
we
part
have
of the-
here for the RH group.
complete.
We have complete dominance. That ought to help.
You always say that, but sometimes it just don't.
No, yeah, he's right. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. The
Okay, yeah.
PO type doesn't matter at all. It's just the
Because the father could have big R, little r too. At first I was like, wait a minute, he said complete. But yeah, the father could also have big R, little r. Heterozygous. It's 4. It's 25% chance they could have had a daughter, which. Cool. Look. This is why
I forgot about mine. I got in bed. I stripped. I was in the bed warm as fuck.
me and Chloe were cuddling. Oh, do you want her to play with mine? Then you take her play there because she doesn't know.
We have complete dominance. So these two parents could be heterozygous, right? If they're heterozygous, what's their chance of having a child with little r, little r? 25%. So it's certainly possible for two positives to have a negative child because they both could be hex. 25% chance of them having a negative child. So let's look at this. So this question here was really asking if two positives can have a negative. That's what the question was asking. So part of the ability to answer these questions successfully comes in figuring out what I'm asking. I am asking if two people who are Rh positive could have a child who's Rh negative. The answer is yes. This is not a trick question. This is a question that requires you to put together things that we learned in the class and apply it to a real situation. Trick question.
No, not anymore.
Yes. I'm not 21 yet. No.
How you answer it, it's not good. Okay?
I can answer it.
It's a trick question.
Oh, because if you would have said no, you were robbing yourself.
I went to stores. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not the question.
Nah, I don't care. That was my answer.
Okay, now trick questions are not new. They go back a long time. You can go back to the New Testament and you can find a trick question in the New Testament. Should we pay taxes? Now, no matter how you answer this, it's not. Say, no, we shouldn't pay taxes, then the Romans get really upset. And then if you say, yes, we should pay taxes, then you're collaborating with the Romans. It's not a good, it's a trick question. You can't possibly answer. Say,
So just
that's
sit
me
down in the
asking
middle
if two positives
and read a
have
book.
negative. Big difference between those. Oh, hey, here's another question. I like this one too. How many different size alleles do we have here? I know there's 5 samples on the gel. There's 10 alleles. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how many different size alleles are there. So on the far left, we have the DNA ladder, and then we have the 5 student samples. I want to know how many size differences we see among those 5 student samples.
7.